Welcome everyone. I am Serene, the Senior Director from Everbridge. Today I'm actually joined by Chriselle, the President of Balibago Waterworks, and also Raghav, the CEO of Apprium, where we have them both shared about the challenges and the solution that they have in their space, which is in the water treatment operation.
Hi, I am Chriselle Alejandro, the President of Balibago Waterworks. We are the fourth largest private water utility in the Philippines. We serve around a population of 1.5 million people, and we have 90 municipal franchises from the north of Luzon to the south of Mindanao.
Raghav?
Hello, my name is Raghav. I'm the CEO of Apprium, and we are in the business of continuous autonomous monitoring of water. We deliver insights for treatment and ensure both process efficiency as well as sustainability in the water space. Thank you.
So, Chriselle, being in the water treatment industry, what are actually some of the challenges that you face in your operations?
So, operating in the Philippines, we are largely using groundwater, and one of the biggest problems of groundwater is iron and manganese. This is something that we cannot predict. When we drill a new well, there is a 25% chance that there will be water quality issues, either very iron-ridden, which is red, or manganese, which is yellow. And this has really been a challenge for us, and it brings us a lot of customer complaints.
Thank you, Chriselle. So, Raghav, what actually Chriselle just shared with us in terms of the challenges, and then how does actually Apprium help to solve such challenges then?
So what we do is we have these, as I said, autonomous analyzers where they monitor the water quality. So we monitor the raw water and we constantly measure for manganese, we measure for iron, we also measure a few other contaminants, and we input that information to the treatment where Chriselle is treating this water, and then the outlet from the treatment is also, we again monitor that for say manganese and iron and few other parameters, and we compare and see whether the treatment is effective, not effective, what changes are needed, and that's the feedback loop we give so that they can manage the contaminants in an effective way.
So, Chriselle, back to you again. And then what would then be the business outcome that you would like to achieve by implementing the monitoring system like what Raghav just mentioned?
Currently, our water quality problems are alerted to us by our customers, and then we react. We have to go back to the pumping station, we have to drain it, we have to adjust our filtration system settings, and that's the current setup. So the outcome that we're looking for right now is, number one, we want a proactive way of determining the water quality changes before it reaches our customers. And the second outcome we're looking for is also process efficiency and cost savings. If we can determine the quality of water from the source and we understand exactly the levels of iron and manganese, then we can tweak the treatment already before it goes to the customers.
So back to you, Raghav. So earlier on, you mentioned about obviously you are in the space of contaminants detection, and you are actually helping Balibago Water to obviously detect the contaminants level and obviously take the necessary action. Could you please expand a little bit more on the necessary action part? Like, how do you actually do it?
Yeah, absolutely. So Chriselle talked about number one, manganese and iron and other contaminants, and the complaint comes from the customer, and that's not great, right? So that's where we put in analyzers, which is real-time monitoring the water, raw water, sends alerts, sends information to the treatment plant, and they can basically adjust the treatment to what the raw water is showing us having the contaminants, right? Apart from that, we also monitor the contaminants after treatment. So, and that is given as a feedback loop back to the treatment. And we are trying, what we're trying to do, she talked a little bit about optimizing, right? First and foremost, she doesn't have to get information from the customers. We will do it right at the source and at the treatment. So that's one of the first things we will do. So she can take actions right there, real time. Number one. Number two, we've also noticed, I was there in Balibago and I was seeing the water and I was testing the water, and we realized that the contamination is changing constantly. It's not always a fixed number. It's not just 1500 parts per billion. It's sometimes at 800, sometimes at 2000, and so on. And each of them requires a different treatment regimen in terms of time, in terms of energy, and so on. So by monitoring the raw water and the treatment efficacy, we can actually help her adjust the treatment time. So why is this important? Number one, you save energy. If your output of manganese should be anywhere between 80 to 100 parts per billion, which is the WHO recommended output, you only need to treat the water to that level. If it's 800, you obviously treat less. If it's 1500, you treat more. And that's the nuance we deliver to her, where she constantly reduces her treatment time, but delivers a consistent output to the end customer. With this, we save on energy, we save on treatment time. When we save on treatment time, you actually increase your output. So your investment into infrastructure comes down, your energy consumption comes down, your output increases. Typically, if you're doing 1000 cubic meters of water, with a reduced treatment, you can now deliver 2000, 2500 cubic meters of water and so on. So number one, you satisfy the customer. You also satisfy Crisel because she now uses less energy, less time, more output, and hopefully it also helps improve her bottom line.
Sure. So Raghav, presumably, let's say, we need to actually deploy the correct stakeholder to go to the pumping station to do the necessary corrective action. How do you actually find the right person to do the job?
Good question. So while we as a contaminant monitoring company can deliver this output, we use the Everbridge platform to send these alerts. So she has a project manager for each pumping station, and they will get the alert that now your manganese levels have gone down. You can go and adjust your treatment from, let's say, 13 minutes to 4 minutes. That's the kind of alerts Everbridge helps us deliver. That's one. The second thing what we can also do is create the entire audit trail. We'll probably have hundreds of alerts across different pumping stations over a period of a month. So we can have an audit trail as to when did the alert go, how soon did they respond, and she can use this audit trail to help her improve her operations so that she can respond faster, and that helps her save money. The third thing is also deliver a monthly report to her, and that also Everbridge helps us deliver these monthly reports as well. So there are multiple ways our end last mile delivery of insights, use the Everbridge platform to deliver insights to her.
So I guess possibly the last question that I have, right, is really talking about what would then be the roadmap moving forward, right? So now that we have deployed advanced monitoring system, we'll be able to send alerts to the right stakeholder, and then what would then be the future state of how we improve and make sure that we help Crisel to make sure that her treatment plant is truly resilient proof. How do we do it in the future? Could you expand on the roadmap?
Yes, Crisel and I have talked a lot about this. So we do have a very ambitious roadmap. The first step is to automate the whole thing. Right now, we are using these alerts for the project manager to still go to the site and manually adjust the treatment. The first step is to automate that. Again, we'll use Everbridge platform to automate the whole response. That's number one. The second thing, Crisel is quite digitally savvy, and her desire is to have all the pumping stations in one single command center to look at all the pumping stations, all of her treatment plants, all of her analyzers, and get a ringside view of what's happening. And that's where we also would like to install something from Everbridge which will capture all of this in one platform and deliver the insights. So she could be in Philippines, she could be in Singapore, but having a complete control and manage her operations. That's the second part of the whole automation desire. The third thing, one last thing on that is that Philippines is environmentally very susceptible. You have floods and storms and typhoons and so on. So what is some of these risk elements impinging on her pumping stations? With that control and command center and risk intel coming into that, she can also start planning for some of that and also better taking action on some of those risk elements coming onto her as well.
Okay, thank you very much, Raghav. So, based on what you just mentioned to us, right, Krista, I would like to actually have you share your closing remarks. It is very comforting to see that you have the vision that by going digitization, this is the only way that you can accelerate your momentum in providing the safe and reliable water. So go ahead, Krista.
So this is on our part for Balibago Waterworks. This is really the start of our digital journey, digital transformation. And we are happy to have Apprium and Everbridge as our partners because we really don't know what to do, right? So it will really be helpful for us to have these experts by our side to go through this, to leapfrog into the digital age.
Thank you, Crystal. So I think with this, right, Raghav and I would really thank you for taking a trip to Singapore and to be part of the keynote speech in the Singapore International Water Week as well. And on behalf of Everbridge, we are truly excited and honored to be part of your journey to really provide this safe and reliable water back to your community. We hope that we would have a consortium and a partnership will go beyond Philippines and obviously penetrate to the rest of the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I wanted to end by saying that again, thanks Chriselle for the opportunity, and thanks Serene as well for the Everbridge platform. So really looking forward. I think the three of us have a huge opportunity in Philippines to begin with, but our vision is set for Southeast Asia and beyond, not just in the drinking water, but also in other areas as well. So we have some very ambitious plans. I'm looking forward to the collaboration taking us to greater and greater heights. Thank you.
Thank you.